Good morning, sir.
Good
Morning, sir.
morning.
Good morning, sir.
morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning. Good morning. Okay. So we will continue with the measures of dispersion. Okay. So we were discussing the measures of dispersion. So just a little bit of recap of what we discussed in the last session. There are major four measures of dispersion. Number one, it is uh, range, mean deviation, then variance and standard deviation. So we discussed each, we discussed the formula. I think we stopped at the for standard deviation. On group data we have not discussed. So we'll start with uh, group data, standard deviation of grouped data. Okay. And we'll take up some interquartile range, coefficient of variation, a little bit of measures of dispersion. Okay, so today we'll complete and then we will start with probability in the next session. Okay, so in the first session I will not start probability. I will start probability in the second session of today. So to continue with just a continuation. So as we know, measures of dispersion is very essential to know that how the data is dispersed. It's all about the scatter of the data. Okay. It's all about the dispersion, homogeneity, right? So one one measure is coefficient of variation that we'll study. Okay, coefficient of variation. So each one of this I will take up. Standard deviation. I will complete. Then I will go to coefficient. Interquartile range. Then coefficient of variation. So this is what we are going to study in the first session. So yeah. So let us. So in the for ungrouped data we have discussed. For ungrouped data we have discussed the standard deviation. So we will start from the grouped data. So what is the, yeah, so let me just share the slide. Wait, so what is the standard deviation of grouped data? Okay. Can you see my slide?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So let us start with standard deviation of grouped data. So hope you can see the formula. Okay. So standard deviation S is given by root over sigma f into m minus x bar whole square, okay, divided by n minus 1. So where S is the symbol of standard deviation, generally we use S for symbol of sample. Okay. For population standard deviation, we use this sign, sigma standard deviation. Okay. So I think some of you had query why in some formula the standard deviation it is n minus 1, why it is n. Okay. So let me tell you, we write n for when there is a population, we write n. When there is a sample, we write n minus 1. Okay. So there is a concept of degrees of freedom. We'll discuss later on. Okay. We'll discuss that. Right. So just for time being, you take this as a rule. For population, it will be by n divided by n, and for sample, it will be n minus 1. Now, so S is the symbol for the sample standard deviation. So you can see here, S is sample standard deviation, right? M is the midpoint of each class. So by this time, you have calculated this one, na? Average or the mean. Somebody saying something. Vansha. Yes, Vansha.
सर सैंपल और पॉपुलेशन में डिफरेंस बता दो एक बार.
Yes. $1,000,000 question, Vansha. Vansha, na? $1,000,000 question. So statistics is all about population and sample, right? Okay. So it will take actually, if I, the true sense of term, it will take minimum half an hour, but I will just in short make you understand. You will understand in due course of time. Okay. See, suppose some company is doing some research work, right? They are collecting from data. Okay. Now, if you see any research work cannot be done on the population because very rarely, because suppose let's take consumer research. What happens in consumer research, right? Companies like Kantar Research comes in our campus also. Very good company. IMRB, okay, market research company. What these market research companies do? They do some consumer research. Now, consumer research, see a country like India, if I am doing, suppose if I am doing a project for say Pepsi, now try to understand what will be the Pepsi drinkers or the Coke drinkers in India. Minimum 5 to 10 crores. Okay. So such a big number. So this is my population. But it's very difficult for any company to interview all the 5 crore, or even if you send questionnaire also, it will take few months. Okay. It may take year also. So it is very difficult to do the, analysis of population. So generally what we do, generally in any market research, a sample is taken out. Sample is taken out. Say 2000, 3000, 5000, which is a manageable number. You can work with a data of 5000, 2000, right? But crores, it's very difficult. So generally, if you see the inferential statistics, mainly all the statistical tests are performed on the sample, right? But they are concluded for the population. That means for those 5 crore Pepsi drinkers, I might not be say smokers. How many smokers will be there in India? Say minimum 1 crore, 2 crore out of 130 crore. I'm just taking a hypothetical value. Okay, 2 crore smokers. Now you even don't know who are smoking. Okay, there are males smoking, there are females smoking, there are different, demographic variables. I mean, there even older people are smoking nowadays, even younger people are smoking. Okay, students are smoking, so all the generations are smoking, so you don't know who are your smokers. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to take a sample of 2000 or 3000. Okay, you have to take a sample of 2000 or 3000, which is a manageable number, and you have to do the study on. Okay, so generally that's why you will find that the formulas sometimes it is differentiated. Okay, so I will come, there are various concepts, degrees of freedom. Okay, so for the time being, you can. Okay, yeah, Vansha, is it clear?
Yes, sir. But
It
sir,
will,
we are having different formulas for a sample and population method. So, how do we get to know about, by reading the question that which formula we have to put that?
it will be mentioned in the question, the sample of so many people taken. Okay, or the population, it is generally mentioned. Okay, if it is not mentioned, you just write that I have taken a sample and then apply the sample formula. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. but this was $1 million question. Actually, if you understand this, you will understand whole of inferential statistics. Okay, formulas are nothing. See, formulas you can remember, you have to, it's nothing, but concepts are very important. Okay, f is the class frequency. Already we know this, right? Already we know, but still mean. Sorry. In while calculating mean, we have seen what is the class frequency. Today also I will show you. I will give you some of the steps how to calculate standard deviation. Right. N. N is the number of observations in the sample. Right. And X bar is the designation of sample mean. Okay, so just let us again have a look, try to understand. So always, as I told you, the relationship between variance and standard deviation is always, standard deviation is the square root of variance. So if I lift the square root, what will be this formula all about? This will be of variance. Okay, so square root sigma f. F is the frequency of the data set within bracket m minus x bar. M is the midpoint of the class, whichever class we are doing, and minus x bar. Okay, x bar we have to calculate by the group data formula. Okay, x bar whole square divided by n, where x bar is the mean and n is the number of observations. Clear? So let us do a problem. I mean, just I will, yeah. This is again, this problem is all about the this data with this grouped data. Okay, this is my group data. This is my group data. So what I have to do, I have to find out the standard deviation of the group. Okay, so I will tell you the steps. You can write one by one. This data is with you, I think. In the last class, we dealt with this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Even if it's not with you, you can write. I'm giving you 1 minute. You can write this data, or you can take a pic. Okay. Okay. So, so now we will see the steps of standard deviation calculation of grouped data. Okay. Yeah. So let us start. So this is my data. Okay. What is this data? Grouped or ungrouped?
Data.
Group data. Very good. Now, so first step, what will be the, you can write down the steps also if you are new, very new. If you are if you are very new, you should write the steps also. So the step 1, find the midpoint of each class. Step number 1, find the midpoint of each class. Now, how to find the midpoint? We already done. So 15 is the lower limit, LL, lower limit of the class. 18 is the higher limit of the class. So how do we get the midpoint? Lower limit plus higher limit or upper limit by 2. Okay, so what will be my midpoint of the first class? 15 plus 18 by 2. Clear? So if you do this, 15 and 18, if you add up 33, 33 by 2 is 16.5. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the next class. Clear? You calculate all the midpoints. Step number 2, then step number 2, you can write calculate the mean, which we discussed in the last session. Calculate the mean. How we calculate the mean? What is the formula? Sigma f into m divided by n. This already I explained in the last class. Hope you remember. Let us take the value only. Let us take the value only. So what is the mean of this data set? What is the mean of this group frequency? 23.1. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. So we take 23.1. So what is my X bar here? It is 23.1. Okay. Now what I will do? I will take the simple difference between the midpoint and the, midpoint and the mean. So m minus x bar. M is the midpoint of each class. X bar is the mean of the class which we calculated in our last class. Okay. Is it clear? So we can calculate. So okay. So 16.5 first class. See the first class. First class. See my cursor. 16.5 minus 23.1. How much? Minus 6.6. 19.5. See my cursor. 19.5 minus 23.1. How much? Minus 3.6. 22 point and so on. You can calculate all this.
Sir,
Okay. Yeah.
so can you please tell us that 23.1 how we get this?
ये हम लोग might be you are not present. Okay, we calculated this calculation of group frequency for the calculation of the mean for the grouped data we calculate in the last class. So this is the formula sigma f into m divided by n. Very simple.
Okay, sir,
Frequency. Okay, this we did in the last class. You can see my video also will get there. Okay, so we can calculate this column. Next, any variance is nothing but a square, square of the deviation of the data points from the mean. So if you see, it is m minus x bar whole square, m minus x bar. What does it simply mean? Square of this column. Square of, it is nothing but square of this column. Okay. So this column into this column. So minus 6.6 into minus 6.6. How much? Minus into minus plus. So 43.56. Minus 3.6 into minus 3.6. How much? 12.6. In this way, you can calculate all the square. You can just square it up. Okay. Now the third and the last column. Okay. Last column, what we do? We multiply the frequency. We multiply the frequency with this column. That means we multiply this column, frequency column, with this column. See my arrow? These two column we multiply. These two column we multiply. Okay. So 8 into 43.56. How much? 348.4. And so you can multiply it one by one and get all this. Now see the formula of standard deviation. See the formula of standard deviation. Root over sigma f into m minus x bar whole square. Sigma of, that is summation of this summation of this. What is here? We have already calculated summation of all this value, summation of all this value. How much it is? 1531. Okay. Yeah. So put this value 15. So what will be my numerator? 1531.8 divided by n. N is 80. If you see the summation, how many cars are there? This data is all about the sales price of 80 cars. 80 cars. Student, generally 30% copy, I find n is equal to 7. because there are 7 class, they will write n equals 7. Many students, many, every year I have seen. This is a very pattern question also. And standard deviation, very important. There will be, there you can expect one question. So root over 1531.8 divided by n. N is the total frequency, not number of class. My number of class is 7. This is 7. But my data point कितना है? मेरे पास डेटा कितने का है? 80 कार का. So n is 8. Is it clear? So what is my, yeah. So what is my standard deviation? 4. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? Tell me. Let me stop for 1 or 2 minutes. Very, very important. Very, very important in terms of exam also, in terms of whole of statistics deals with standard deviation and variance. Standard deviation and variance. Whole. Very important. Any question, please ask now only. Have we understood the standard deviation calculation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. So let us take some other measures of dispersion. Okay. So we are with the measure. So measure what kya tha? What were the major standard measures of dispersion? Mean, range, mean deviation, okay, variance and standard deviation. So we are done with all. We are done with all. Okay. We have studied range, largest value minus smallest value. We have studied mean deviation, sigma of modulus of x minus x bar. Okay. Variance and standard deviation. Only one you have to remember. Either you remember variance or you remember standard deviation. Better I suggest you remember this one. If you just put a square root, it becomes standard deviation. Got my point? Okay. Now, what is variance all about? It is the sigma, summation of the squared deviation of the mean of the data points from the mean. Is it clear? So x minus mu whole square, summation of this square divided by n. Okay. So we are done. A few next we will study a few offshoot sort of that comes from the measures of dispersion. So we'll study interquartile range, number 1. Number 2, we'll study coefficient of variation. These are, you can tell, offshoots of the major measures. The major measures we have completed. We have completed the major measures of dispersion.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, here we can see that the standard deviation formula is the denominator part is divided by n. Whereas in the example we solved, it was the denominator was n minus 1.
So
means which formula is the correct one? This one or the in the
I
example
told you
which
now,
we
see
used?
what is written here. What is written here? Can you read this?
Population.
What was written there?
Only standard deviation.
Sample. It was sample.
Okay.
Population will be n. Sample will be n minus 1. Okay. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Next, we will move to two, rather you can call it offshoots actually. It's also useful. It's not that, but let's understand this also. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us start with, there is another measure of dispersion which is called interquartile range. Okay, as you will let us understand, then I will give you one or two formulas. So interquartile range, what is interquartile range? See, in median what we do, in median the total data set, we divide it into two. That means we divide into 50% is on the above the mean, 50% is below the mean. Okay, that is median. So if you just see this, the diagram, you just see this diagram, you will be clear. Now let me take the pen. Oh, I got, okay. Now see this diagram. So this is the lowest observation and this is the highest observation of the data series. So if you see quartile, what is quartile actually, right? So quartile divides the data into four equal, four equal parts, where the somebody Samarth entering. Okay, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile. Okay, so if you see median, second quartile is nothing but is the median. This is the lower 50%, this area, and this area is the higher 50% in case of median. So quartile 2 is nothing but median. Another name of quartile 2 is nothing but median. Quartile 2 also divide the total data set into up top 50% and bottom 50%. 50% of the data is above the median, 50% of the data is below the median. But what is then first quartile, third quartile? Why do we do this? Now if you see this, first quartile and third quartile. So these three quartile divide the data sets into 25%, right? Or 1/4 of the items. So if you see Q3 minus Q1, this portion, how much percentage of data is in this part, Q3 minus Q1? If each one is having 25% data, so this is the middle 50%, middle, are you getting? Middle 50%, right? This is also very useful in some cases, in some calculations, this middle 50%, right? So now there are formulas. I will give you the formulas. You can write down the formulas. What is the Q1, Q2, Q3? Okay. But this is the meaning of now interquartile range. So what is interquartile range? Right? Let us see this definition. Let's see this. So what is interquartile range? All of you have a look at this here. Interquartile range is given by Q3 minus Q1, Q3 minus Q1, which is the middle 50%, 25% below the median, 25% above the median. Got my point? So this is called the interquartile range. And what do this quartile do? The Q1, Q2, Q3 are the highest value in each of the first three of the four parts of the distribution, right? So this is the interquartile range. What is range? Yes, Siddharth?
Sir, can you please give an example, practical example, like where it can be used?
Yeah, practical example somewhere. Yeah, I will give you that. So generally it is found in business data, say what is the concentration of data in the, I think all of you understand this normality, right? Normality, if you see this one, this is called a normal distribution. What does normal distribution means? This is the mean. This is the mean. Now 50% data is, above the mean. This is the positive direction. This is the positive direction. Actually, you will understand later on. This might be a bit difficult for you at this stage, but as you have asked, let me give you. And these are the below the average, 50%. Okay. So generally in business, it is suppose it is known that which are the data. Okay, which are the, suppose in a production plant, if you see there is a concept called this one, lower control limit and upper control limit. Okay, suppose the temperature has to be maintained like this. This is my temperature, say 40 degrees centigrade of the dryer. Okay, 40 degrees centigrade of the dryer. Now there is a upper limit, there is a lower limit. So many, if when the product is of good quality, when the temperature is here, is in the middle portion. If it is goes beyond this, the product will burn, right? Suppose it is a biscuit manufacturing plant and the temperature, drying temperature is say 40 degrees centigrade. Just suppose. So if it is, and the upper limit is 60 degrees centigrade, right? 60 degrees centigrade. Now, if it goes, the temperature is suppose 65, then the product, what is going to happen? The product is going to burn, right? There can be burn. Suppose it is below and the lower temperature is 30 degree. Okay. If it is at 20 degree, the drying has not been done. What will happen to the biscuit? The biscuit will be, you know, not dried properly. There will be moisture content, right? So optimum is 40 degrees centigrade, optimum temperature. There are different terminologies in operations management. So I will be concerned with which are the temperature which are very much central. So I will be interested in knowing 50% of the data set which is very close to the center or the mean. Okay, there it is used, right? Got my point? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you should know this one also. Very good question. You should know the application areas also as a management student. Very good. Very good question. Actually, I become engrossed with statistics sometimes. So this is also very nice. So very good. Let us understand the statistics. Because see, as a student, I always tell that none of you are going to be statistician. Okay, statistician तो बनना नहीं आपको, बनना है? Yes,
No,
Siddharth.
sir.
No, sir.
सिद्धार्थ, आपको statistician बनना है?
ऐसे सोचा तो नहीं अभी.
नहीं, none of you, all you are in the management course. So all of you are in the MBA now. You are in the MBA. So all of you are supposed to join. So that part is more important for you. The application part. This is what. This is just formulas. I am just nothing. What I am doing, I am just telling you the formulas. This is, any clerk can do this calculation, right? But as a manager, as an operations manager, that is important. When your temperature is going, I can, there is time I can, when I was working with Philips Carbon Black Limited plant, this is one of the largest production of producer of carbon black in India, one of the India and also world. Okay, because in India there are very few carbon black plants, right? So this was a potent problem, because what used to happen, some of your engineers will understand that when there are some devices, to track the temperature. There are sensors, okay, and which is connected to the, then it was called distributed, DCS, distributed control system. But somehow, if this sensor becomes inactive or inaccurate, it does not work well, then you are not getting the actual temperature of the equipment. The temperature has gone to 150 degrees centigrade and you are seeing in the DCS system. Okay. So there are many practical cases happened that the temperature is 150, you are seeing 50 degrees centigrade. Okay. So it's very, essential to see the things physically also. Okay. Automation is good. I am not against automation, or but human intervention will always be there in this field. Okay, so let us quartile, interquartile, na? Interquartile. So I hope it is clear. Yeah, I have given you the formula. Interquartile range. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you want, you can take down these formulas also. So quartile, there is a term called quartile. So this thing you have to understand. See, so this two, Q2 minus Q1. Okay, Q2 minus Q1 is equal to Q3 minus Q. That means this two distance, this and this, these are equidistant. Q3 and Q1 are equidistant from Q2. So we can write this, that so the formula of quartile deviation is this. What is the formula of quartile deviation? You can see here, quartile deviation is equal to Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Okay, this is called quartile deviation. So sometimes you should calculate quartile deviation to understand how your temperature has deviated from the 50% mark or the mean mark. So this is all about interquartile, this one. So you can write this formula also. I can write this formula, no harm. You can write this. Yeah. So computation of quartile so again, for ungrouped and grouped, as I told you, for ungrouped data, these are the formula. You can write down these formulas. You can do some problem later on. And for group data, these are the formulas. Okay. So for ungrouped data, these are the formulas. Lower quartile or Q1 we call lower quartile because it is close to the lowest point of the series. That's why Q1 is called lower quartile. It is n plus 1 by 4th observation. Upper quartile Q3 3n plus 1 by 4th observation. For group data, Q1 is L1 plus n by 4 minus C by F into H. Q3, these are not very useful, I tell you, but you should know this formula. These are not very important from your, so as to say, exam point of view or something, but you should know this. Q1 is L1 plus n by 4 minus C by F into H. And Q3 is L3 plus 3 by 4n minus C divided by F into H. Where L1 is the lower boundary of the first quartile class. Okay. L3 is the lower boundary of the third quartile class. We have seen median class, quartile class. Okay. N is total cumulative frequency. F is frequency of the quartile class. H already we know, class width, upper limit minus lower limit. Cumulative frequency of the class just above the quartile class. Okay. So you write down the formula, but these are not very important from the. Okay, so please write the formulas. Okay, done. I hope you are done with the formulas.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Next, the most important, which is very important for our academic, exam point of view. Next is the mean deviation. Already we are done. The very important from exam point of view is the coefficient of variation. Very useful measure in statistics. Very, very, very useful. Coefficient of variation. Okay. Coefficient of variation. So, what is coefficient of variation? It is a measure of relative dispersion. See, till now, all the measures were absolute dispersion, right? But this is the only relative measure, relative dispersion, and is given by the formula is this formula. This is very important. Let us do one problem also, or we can do in the tutorial. So coefficient of variation is standard deviation by mean. Standard deviation by mean, right? Also, it is sometimes expressed into percentage. Also, it is sometimes but what is the meaning of coefficient of variation? Try to understand this, right? Calculation we can do. What we will do to calculate coefficient of dispersion variation? Simply we will calculate standard deviation. By this time we know how to calculate standard deviation. We know how to calculate mean. We will divide the this standard deviation by mean, and we will multiply it by 100. We understand the steps, right? We understand the steps. But what is its significance? What is its significance? What is the significance of coefficient of variation? See, lower the coefficient of variation, that means lower is the homogeneity, right? Higher the, or you can say lower the coefficient of variation, lower is the variability of the data, lower is the homogeneity. Low is the homogeneity, and higher is the standard deviation, higher is the coefficient of variation, higher is the standard deviation, because see, standard deviation is in the numerator. So if coefficient of variation is high, means the standard deviation is high. If the standard deviation is high, that means the dispersion is there. And if the standard deviation is low, then the dispersion is low, homogeneity is also low. So this why it's very important when we want to check the homogeneity of data, whether the data is homogeneous or the data is heterogeneous, or low homogeneous or high homogeneity. When we check the degree of homogeneity, low or high, coefficient of variation is the very, very absolute measure. Suppose I am having two section. I want to compare the variability of marks, right? As I told you, if you remember, variation, best measure is to coefficient of variation. If you want to compare two distribution, best method, and the best method is coefficient of variation. So just go through this lines, these 3-4 lines. Coefficient of variation measures the spread of a set of data as a proportion of its mean. What proportion of mean is the standard deviation? It is used in problem situation where we want to compare the variability or homogeneity. These two property, variability and homogeneity of the data set, we can easily understand. So the data set, that please read these two lines. The data set for which the coefficient of variation, the data set for which the coefficient of variation is greater, is said to be more variable, that is less homogeneous. Yeah. If variance is very high, homogeneity is less. On the other hand, if the coefficient of variation is less, okay, it is said to be less variable, that is more consistent or more homogeneous. Okay, so this is the importance of coefficient of variation. Okay, very, very important. Two data set, okay, two sections, section A and B. Suppose I want to compare the homogeneity of the data. So I will calculate coefficient of variation. Okay. So I think we are done with all the measures of central tendency and measures of dispersion. Any query you can ask. Yeah, we are having some time. Any query? So our first topic is over. Any query after the first topic? Yes, Siddharth. Yes,
Sir, in,
Siddharth.
sir, in exams, direct question will come or indirect questions will come. Like the data directly given, and we have to find the coefficient of variance, or some case study type questions will come.
Both comes. Both.
Okay.
It may be direct question. It may be indirect question. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let us do a direct question where we have to calculate. Let us. Any other query? Let me take any other query. Otherwise, I will start probability from the next session, not this. So, yeah, yeah. Somebody, you can chat box. You can simply ask me every time. You have to, sir. Can you please share? Oh, okay, 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 okay. You'll get all the material. Don't get worried, and don't write many things. Also, I will give you. I have already given you all my recordings and PPT. Right? Hope you have got it in the quick force. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have already uploaded, right, for the first session.
Yes, sir. It is there, sir.
So all the sessions I will upload, all the PPT, everything will get. Okay. So don't worry. Any question you ask, any query of the topic, material you will get. Don't worry. PPT. Achha, this word, yeah, this word file I will give. This word file.
Can you give an
Perhaps
example of case study, like
case study.
like how the
Yes, yes,
questions will be like?
yes, yes, yes. Case study. Yeah, I will give you example of case study. Actually, by the meantime, what you can do is that you can, I think all of you have got access to www.ibscases.org.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes.
have got,
Yes,
na?
sir. We have.
Yes,
So
sir.
log in and see the cases. Okay, there you will find there is one case study on metal. Okay, metals, metal is a toy manufacturer. So you go to the you go through the case study of metal there. Okay, generally I refer the ICFI cases. If required, I will give you some small cases also. The ICFI cases are very big, very big.
Yes, sir, because how can we solve those case study questions? Because we have no idea how to do. I personally don't have any idea how to do case study methods.
We'll discuss this.
Question.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll discuss, don't worry. We have just started now. We have just started this syllabus.
Sir, is it matters global
Metals Global. Yes,
expansion?
the number I don't remember. I remember the name, Metals Global Expansion, something like that.
Okay, sir.
So you can go through this case. This is on central tendency. That's why I'm telling. Because each case is mapped to some chapters. Okay, case study is not like this. Each case study is mapped to some chapters, right? So that's why metals, this one is mapped to measures of central tendency. Okay, so we are done.
So we will be discussing the case, no?
Yes, we'll discuss. I will discuss the case in the tutorial class. That will be fantastic, right?
Yes, sir.
So because this actually are very much, these are very, this class is a regular lecture class. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
case study also I will give you 1 week before, 1 week time to read. Okay. To prepare yourself, to discuss in group. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Case
Yes.
study takes some time. Okay. Case study cannot be done in 1 hour, 1 minute. Okay. So it takes 1 week to read. First of all, you have to read the case. Okay. You have to discuss it in the group. So by next week, I will divide the group, okay, of this class for the case study discussion. Case study I don't give to individual students. I give
Yes,
to the groups. So we will have that group, okay.
so will that it is going to be our assignment as well?
Mm, yeah, that is also part of an assignment. That will be a part of an assignment. See, there are various, I will take some quiz also. I will take assignment. I will give assignment problems. Okay. Which problem will be helpful for your exam. Okay.
Okay,
So I
sir.
will, so three types of generally, yeah, this perhaps I forgot. Three types of assessment I do. Number one is quiz. I will give a quiz any day. I will tell you. Of course, I will give you 1 week
Yes,
time.
sir.
I will give you 1 week time. Don't worry.
Yes.
Okay. So if I take a quiz also, I will tell before 1 week. If I take a case study presentation, I will tell you before 1 week. Right. So my three types of assessment I take. Number one, this quiz. Number two is your this one case study, and number three is I will give time to time, I will give you assignment, just like we are finished with central tendency. I will give you some problems on central tendency. Okay, this will be
Okay.
assignment will be individual. Okay, but and quiz also will be individual performance, but case study will be a group performance. Okay.
Sir.
Hmm. Okay, so as you were asking about questions, so just let us do. We are having few time, over a few minutes, so let us. You can try out this problem. You can try out this problem. Let me see. Yes. Oh no, 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 not this one. Wait, this one. Yes, this one you can do. Yeah, this one you can calculate. So this one, all of you can give a try. We are having 7 8 minutes. So you have to find the standard deviation, the ROI, the simple standard deviation.
Sir, this we already
Sir, this
did.
we have done already.
This you have done, no?
Yes.
Then you can do this one. Then you can do. This one we have also done. I think no,
No.
no.
No,
So
sir.
you
This
can do
we
this
have
one.
done.
So here you have to calculate the coefficient of variation also. Okay. So next session we'll start with probability. Very important chapter. Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Call.
So my name is Girish Bahl. I have joined recently.
Uh-huh.
So I would like to know that how many topics have been covered till date.
No, this is the first chapter actually only. This is the first chapter.
Okay. So this is my first class.
Okay, this is your first class. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. This is the first topic that we are covering.
Okay.
So those who are joining late, please try to see the quick force. Okay. On the quick force, I have posted all my lectures. I all means only 2 sessions I have taken. So 2 sessions I have posted, and also this I have posted the PPT, and I will see this I am taking this one. Somebody Saurabh was asking, na Saurabh, I have taken this from the that material, the material that is given by ICFI only. This one is ICFI material.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so you in your ebook or something, you will get this one also. You just give a search.
Okay, sir.
Okay. If you don't get, I will share these also. No problem.
Sure, sir. Sure.
No problem.
Virish, hi. Virish, हमारे यहाँ ना एक WhatsApp group भी है. So can you please share your number so that we can add you on that group?
Yeah, that is
For
also.
section है.
That is also.
Yeah, sure.
So you can type over here and ask Iyas can add you over there.
Yes. So I think yes. Okay. So CRs of this class are Shrestha and another student, no?
Sushant.
Sushant, yes, I was sorry, I was forgetting.
No problem.
Sushant and Shrestha, right? Both of you are the CRs. So generally, see, if some slide I cannot upload, I will give it to the CR, okay? Both Sushant and Shrestha, and they will forward it to you. By the in the first session, I could upload everything, but if some problem is there, I generally give it to the CR, okay? The CR will send it to you because CR is connected with the whole class. Yeah. So are you getting this? You can calculate this. That's very simple. I think. Okay. So I think. Okay, you can do it later on also. Just let me show you the solution. You can just check. Those who have done, you can just check the solution if you want. So we'll get X bar. First of all, we calculate X bar, which is 17.4. We calculate variance. No, yes, X bar. Then variance, 39.24. Then simple square root of variance is standard deviation. Take a square root, it is 6.26. And then we'll get the coefficient of variation, that is standard deviation by. So these are the 4 steps you have to calculate. First, you have to calculate the mean. Then you have to calculate the variance. Already I have showed you. I will do in the tutorial class also. Standard deviation, then we can easily calculate, just as I told you, square root of variance. So if 39.24 is our variance, we can calculate the standard deviation. And coefficient of variation is nothing but standard deviation by mean into 100. Generally, we multiply this, or you can leave it like this also. 0.3598. That means 35 point. Okay, so we can continue in the tutorial class with this problem. No harm. Just solve yourself. Okay. So let us, so I think we are done with this first topic and first session also. So we'll start with the second session with probability. Very, very
Sir,
important.
just one small announcement. Guys, we are
Yes.
having a meeting, informal meeting at 1:30 p.m. So I'll share the link on WhatsApp. Kindly join the meeting. Thank you.
No, meeting of what this is?
Sir, informal meetings are regarding groups and all.
Okay. So all faculty will be
No, sir,
joining
not
or-
faculty. Informal meeting just for students. Because they have doubts for the groups and all.
Which group?
So groups like we are making financial study group. These groups like activities, sir. Like you will also be giving us case study.
So for
We have to make
assignments.
groups. For assignments.
No, that
It will be our internal group.
no. That Sushant, you can do na as a CR. You can form the group for quants. Okay.
Yes, sir. Some have doubt. They will just attend, sir.
Please, sir, basically it was for just so that we all of us can even connect with each other.
just an
क्योंकि
ice-breaking
online
session.
classes में हम लोग we are not able to connect इतना ज़्यादा, so we are conducting an informal meet so that we can get to know each other personally.
Okay. Informal. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let us wind up now for this session. Start after 15 minutes. So I am stopping sharing. Yes. So sir, we can stop now.